one asks the question then, and this is an issue why we're all here today, how does that compare in terms of its benefit, its economic benefit, to rock mining? And I don't think it's very difficult for anybody to conclude that by comparison to the tourism economy that this county benefits from, the rock mining economy is a very narrow one. The economic benefits of rock mining are going to the rock crushing. Okay? That's about the only party that is going to benefit by doing that operation in this county. Compared to tourism, where there are hotels and beds and breakfasts and restaurants and gas stations all through this county that are benefiting from it. So I think the factor that has to be considered in our 1% chance attempt at preventing this is an economic factor. Okay? It's not just the birds. They're important, very, very important, because they're in fact a part of the tourism industry. But it's the economic issues as well that we need to think about. Somerville County, in my view, benefits quite broadly. And many businesses and families in this county are benefiting from the tourism industry, which is growing all the time. At Fossil Rim, our numbers are growing 10 to 15% a year. Okay? And that's an indicator of how the tourism industry is growing overall in this county. That's the one scenario. The other scenario is a big operation. Rock mining is not a small operation. But the economic benefits of that are not benefiting very many people and very many industries in this county. It's a very narrow beneficiation pattern compared to tourism. And then you have to recognize a couple of other things. Tourism was not only here yesterday, nor is it just here today, it's here tomorrow as well. It goes on. It's a renewable industry. It's here all the time into the future. Rock crushing, there comes a time, 1 year, 1 decade, I have no idea. There comes a time when it's finished. There's no more there. And it's over. What happens when that time comes? The people and the parties, the owners of the business who probably made small economic fortunes from it, walk away from it. They leave. And they leave us in this county with a pit, a gravel pit. In an ecological sense, and as you saw from the photograph, the aerial photographs, the Google Earth photographs that Gareth put up, those cleared areas, in the ecological world, we call those dead zones. That's all they are. There's no life in there. There are no trees, no grass, it's all gone. Soil is gone. They end up being what we call dead zones. So, 10 years down the road, we have a thriving rock crushing industry, people making a few people making an enormous amount of money out of it, and then leaving us in this county with up to a 250 acre dead zone. And all those who are involved in tourism, particularly Lee Clauser and the Portmans and the Browns who live around that area, who have quite a nice little thriving tourism industry on their own, as Lee has just described, that industry is gone. It's no longer exists. So these are the kinds of things you have to weigh up here. Especially when, and what I've been trying to do is focus a bit more on the economic side of this whole issue. These are the comparisons you have to make. A renewable, growing tourism industry with a very wide footprint of economic benefits down here at the destination end of that tourism, or a rock crushing business with a very narrow economic footprint and quite a substantial environmental impact. Those are the choices. Now, we who live and reside here in this county have to, sooner or later, and perhaps now's the time, or the time has come now, to make some decisions and to draw some lines to the extent we can about which way we want the economic scenario in this county, which direction we want it to go. There is lots and lots of rock that can be dug out of this county. And there are lots and lots and lots of fuels that can be taken down for the sake of that in this county. It's already happening. It looks like it's beginning to expand. How do we feel about it? Who's benefiting from the economy of that versus who's benefiting from the tourism economy that's also going on here side by side? What might happen in the future? We've got to decide on things like that in the long run. So I hope I've managed to help you see this issue from more of an economic perspective than an environmental perspective. Thank you.